Hey, what's up everybody? This is Gerson Ribeiro with a new top 5 video. In this video I'm going to be doing two things. I'm going to continue my segment on the top 5 best modern actors, but this time I'm going to be talking about the actresses. And later I'm going to be doing my review on the movie Avengers Infinity Wars. This video is going to follow the same criteria as last time. I'm going to be talking about the actresses that found mainstream fame from 2010 onward. So, no more delays, let's begin. On the number 5, there's Daisy Ridley. She made the number 5 on this list because she's actually the best thing about the new Star Wars trilogy so far. Not only that, but her small role on Murder on the Orient Express was actually very good. And what she did was pretty much very hard if we think about it, to make the transition from sci-fi into drama. And if we pay attention to her on Murder on the Orient Express, we'll find out that she actually did very well considering the small amount of movie time she had and how small her role in itself was. On the number 4, we have Emilia Clarke, that plays Daenerys Targaryen on Game of Thrones. She's the perfect example of an actress that started from the very bottom and got her way into the top. Considering the first big role she had was on a small-scale movie for the Sci-Fi Channel called Triassic Attack. And considering the title, it's exactly what you guys are thinking. It was just a cheap Jurassic Park knockoff. She actually managed to go from a small-scale sci-fi movie into a mainstream stardom in a very big TV show such as Game of Thrones. And as much as people might not like her in Terminator Genesis, I think she actually did pretty well considering that she's not very good on an action role. Apart from the fact that she doesn't look too much like Linda Hamilton, I think she was a very good Sarah Connor. Now all what's left to see is how well she does in the upcoming Han Solo movie. But if we take in consideration the trailer, she already looks pretty funny and badass, which is kind of her specialty, so let's see how she goes. On the number 3, we have Gal Gadot. I remember when I found out she was going to be playing Wonder Woman in Batman v Superman, and I thought to myself, I don't think that's gonna work out very much, because Wonder Woman's supposed to be big and strong, and because she's an Amazon and everything, and Gal Gadot, she's kind of skinny because she's a model, and models are supposed to be a little skinnier. But I remember when I saw Batman v Superman for the first time, and I got totally blown out of the water. She was just fantastic as Wonder Woman. Not only she stole the show on Batman v Superman, but it's safe to say that she stole the entire DC universe with her own movie afterwards. Because if we take in consideration how well the DC universe has been going on so far, it's safely to say that she's the best thing on it so far. You see, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman and her movie in general, it's not only a fantastic movie, it actually showed that women can play a protagonist on a famous movie and still make it out just as good as the guys, because if we think about it, she was the first movie in which a female character was the protagonist in a superhero genre, opposite from Batman and Superman. People are always saying how the Marvel universe is so much better than the DC universe, but I think we can all agree that DC just schooled Marvel on the equality genre, because Black Widow has been on the Marvel universe for close to 10 years now. She's anywhere near to get her own movie, and Wonder Woman's been on the DC universe for 2 years, and she already had her own movie and was a fantastic success. On the number 2, we have Margot Robbie, that found mainstream fame on 2013's The Wolf of Wall Street. It's actually kind of unbelievable to think that she cemented herself as a Hollywood A-lister 5 years ago, and so far she hasn't made one single bad movie. Not only she was fantastic in movies like The Wolf of Wall Street, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, and Focus with Will Smith, but she just nailed her role as Harley Quinn again in the DC universe. Seriously, I remember the first time I watched Suicide Squad, and when I saw her, I thought I was watching the Batman cartoon again. That's how perfect she was as Harley Quinn. And even though Frances McDormand won the Oscars last year, I think she was a very close second with I, Tonya. And last but definitely not least, our number one spot goes to Emma Stone. I mean, seriously, it just couldn't be anybody else other than Emma Stone, right? Because all the other actresses on this list, they made different movies, but they still follow a certain pattern, right? Like action, drama, or comedy. But Emma Stone, she's into everything. It's unbelievable. Not only she was a fantastic supporting character in 2011's The Help, but I believe she was the best thing about the Spider-Man reboot. And not only she was fantastic in Birdman, but also in La La Land, where she definitely deserved the Oscar she won for that movie. Because if we watch that movie, the only thing that can go into our heads is that how much she totally owned that movie. And now that we're done with the top 5 greatest actresses, I'm going to be giving my review on the movie Avengers Infinity Wars. I'm going to try to talk about it, spoiling the movie as least as I can, but I think I'm gonna have to give away a thing or two about the movie. So if you haven't seen it yet, I strongly advise you to get away from this video right now, because I'm going to be talking about some main plots of the movie. First of all, the pacing was fantastic, considering they had so many actors to deal with. And yet, something that was also fantastic is that the screen time of everybody got very well distributed. They didn't just focus on the most famous characters like Iron Man and Captain America. They gave the secondary ones like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier their time to shine too. Our favorite characters, they were fantastic as usual. Robert Downey Jr. killed it, Chris Evans was fantastic. Pretty much everybody else got an A+ for acting on this movie. The mix of genres like comedy, drama, and action was also pretty well done, with Star-Lord again cracking his jokes and all the other Guardians doing their part. Especially the scene where Star-Lord gets jealous of Thor and tries to match Chris Hemsworth's voice. Alright guys, now this is where the spoiler alert comes in hand, okay? So if you haven't seen the movie, stop watching the video right now. Let me talk about Thanos for a second. He's gotta be like the very best villain the MCU have had so far, especially considering Loki and Zemo. Thanos definitely is the best one. And if we think about it, his main plan is to collect the 6 Infinity Stones, and he doesn't want to rule the universe. He wants to wipe out half of the universe population because he's worried about how overpopulation destroyed his people. So if we think about it, he's one of those villains that he's not around there twirling his mustache or trying to get revenge on anybody. He wants to solve a big problem, which goes on for all the universe in this movie. So I think we can kind of connect to the way he does things. Now, one thing that I'm not gonna say was fantastic because it kind of made me sad, but it was very good because of the way it caught me off guard, was the death of characters. Because everybody expected a few characters to die in Captain America Civil War, but nobody did. Just War Machine got a little broken up, but that was it. But in this movie, a lot of people actually died. And not only like canon fodder, you know, like the secondary characters, they actually killed very important people. I'm not gonna mention any names to, again, try not to spoil the movie, but seriously, be prepared to, I don't know, like if you have a favorite character, be prepared because he or she definitely might die. So this is it, everybody. Thanks for watching my video, and if you like, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't, just leave your feedback in the comment section, and I'll see you next time with another video. Bye bye!